Hi class. All right, for the virtual students, I have a lab that you're going to be doing today. Well, actually tomorrow, since I'm doing the preview of what's going to be happening tomorrow. So I want to go over that with you. What do you need? So if you look at your modules and go to Thursday, you'll be able to bring up the, actually it's going to be on Friday, all right? So I need to move that to Friday so that way you can read the instructions before you get started. However, let's go ahead and start the lab. All right. In the instructions on slide 3, so before you get to slide 3, you need to go over the terms that you're going to see on slide 2. And on slide 3, it tells you what you need. So you need to make fake blood. You can make fake blood, you can use, the way I make it is I use some corn syrup and I use some red food coloring. If you want to use green food coloring, whatever. I'm just using red just so it can look like blood, but you can use green, just anything that will show up, because if you just use corn syrup, most corn syrup is a light color. Even the dark corn syrup might not show up as well. So you need something to show color, right? So corn syrup and red food coloring, mix that all together and you're going to put it in a dropper or something like that, and I'll show you some examples of droppers. All right, you can also use pancake syrup. You can use paint, so you can use red paint. You just need to get it to the consistency of blood, but you can use paint as well. All right, so I've got red blood, fake blood already made. What I use is this little dropper that you see here. All right, if I take this lid off, you see this little bitty dropper right here. And if I hold it upside down, it's not going to come pouring out. It's not going to come pouring out unless I smash on that little button to the sides, okay? All right. Other things that I have for droppers. I have this here. You can use this. You suction it up, and then you'll make a little drops as you go. A medicine dropper. You can use medicine droppers. You suck up the fake blood, and you make the small drops as you go. All right, that'll work as well. Now, I don't want to hear or see emails that you don't have supplies. Use your imagination. Use your mom's empty makeup stuff. Do something, all right? Use old paint, corn syrup, regular pancake syrup, anything like that will work, all right? But you need to have it to where it gives you individual drops and not huge splashes. That won't work, all right? I expect you guys to do this. If you have to go and purchase something, these are very cheap items. They do not cost very much at all. Some of these are even free at a pharmacy, all right? I'm gonna need a ruler, all right? So a ruler, whether you just go and buy one, they're usually about 50 cents at Walmart. You can go buy a ruler. You can go to the dollar store, buy one, whatever you need to do. Make sure you have a ruler. There's something that calls for a long stick. I'm using a sword. Well, not a real sword, but it's a fake sword, okay? So what I did was I take my ruler, and it's gonna ask you for 25 centimeters. So I took my ruler, and I marked off 25 centimeters all the way up. That way I have 100 centimeters here, okay? There's one of exercise in there that's going to require that you have, I believe, up to 100 centimeters. It might be just 75, I'm not sure. But you need to have something long like this. You can use a limb from a tree, just so that it's this size, okay? So again, no excuses. Find something about this length, okay? All right, we called for construction paper or copy paper or something like that. So here, you make sure you use light colored, especially if you're using a dark corn syrup, fake blood. If you use like white paint, you can use dark construction paper. So I have all kinds of dark, light construction paper here that I'm going to be using. All right. If you don't have construction paper, use notebook paper, or you can use a paper plate. Just make sure you have plenty of them. Okay. All right. As you can see, I've got sidewalk here. You're going to be using a long sidewalk. You can use your front yard, a long sidewalk. You can use your driveway, garage, back patio. Any sidewalk will work as long as it's long enough that I can walk slowly and walk rapidly. Okay, so any of those will work. All right. It calls for a clipboard or something that I can attach a clip. All right, so here's a clipboard. I'm going to be attaching my paper to this on some of my exercises in the lab. And if you don't have a clipboard, use a book with a paper clip to attach it. Use your imagination again. Don't tell me you don't have it. Use something, okay? All right. All right, so slide 4. It says you'll be creating drop patterns using single and multiple drops to investigate the effect of motion and the angle of impact on blood spatter. This can be messy, so make sure to keep the blood on your paper, on the sidewalk. If you need to clean your sidewalk afterwards, just rinse it down with water. Water works well, okay? Hold your hands as steady as possible when you're making the drops. Brace your wrist against the meter stick to help you if you need to, all right? Get your materials ready and make sure you have a pen and a black marker or some kind of marker that you can draw or write on your paper, all right? Slide 5. All right, slide 5. So you're going to need 2 large pieces of paper, construction paper, and it's asking you to put on your goggles. Now you don't need goggles for this, okay? I'm going to take that goggles out. All right. So you're going to hold the dropper bottle upside down, 25 centimeters. All right, a ruler. One side has inches, the other side has centimeters. So, yeah, the ruler goes to 30 centimeters. So you'll hold it from where the dropper point is at 25 centimeters. All right. And you're going to drop in single drops, okay? It says to squeeze the bottle gently so that 1 drop of blood is released and lands on the correct location on your paper. It should not hit the meter stick, all right? So we're not using the meter stick, we're just using a ruler for this particular one, since it's only requiring 25 centimeters, okay? All right. So it should not hit the ruler. Repeat 2 more times at the height for a total of 3 drops. So 3 separate drops, not all in one spot, okay? 1 drop here, 1 drop here, 1 drop there. 3 separate drops, okay? And that's for your 25. You're going to do the same thing for your 25, your 50, your 75, and your 100. Okay? When you get finished doing that, you're going to take a picture of your work and you're going to upload it onto slide 6. And then you're going to answer the questions on slide 7. All right, and then for slide 8, you're going to be using, you can use your sidewalk, you can use more paper, okay? All right, it says to hold the dropper upside down so that one end is 25 centimeters from the paper. Gently squeeze it so it's released in the correct location. It should not hit the stick. You're going to release one drop, and then on top of that, you're going to drop again and again and again, okay? You're going to do that from all 4, 25, 50, 75, and 100. Okay, then you're going to upload pictures onto slide 9 of your work. Slide 10 is where you're going to be answering questions about that particular one, okay? Then slide 11 is where you're going to be doing your walking. So you're going to have your little dropper. Start back here or as far as you can, and you're going to walk at a slow walking rate, very slow. Alright. As you're walking, you're going to drip your fake blood. And then you're going to do it at a normal walking rate, and then at a fast walking rate. Okay? And you're going to take pictures of your work, and then you're going to tell me what happened in slide 13. So slide 12, you'll upload those pictures. Slide 13, you're going to answer questions about what happened. And then on slide 14, you're going to be using your clipboard. All right? So you're going to use your clipboard or a book, anything like that, okay? So on this particular one, you're going to need a protractor, which tells you what the degrees are, that 10 degrees, 30 degrees, 45, 90, etc. You can use an app on your phone for this, or you can actually go and buy a protractor, which is like 50 cents, very cheap, all right? There's also a download that's available for you that says a compass protractor. You could print off the compass protractor on your computer if you have a copier, or if you have a printer at home. You could print that off and you can use that as well. So there's 3 different options for you, so don't tell me that you couldn't do it, because I've provided these things for you. Either your phone, where you can download a protractor app, use a actual protractor, or use the one that I've provided for you to print. All right, so you're going to be holding your bottle at different degrees and moving all the way up to, I believe, 75 degrees. So you start at 15, 30, 45, 60, and 75, all right? And so you should be using a different piece of paper for each one of these, okay? So, or turn your paper around and use the other side, as long as you mark down that it's 15 degrees, mark it on your paper, 15 degrees, 30 degrees, 75, etc., okay? So you're going to do that for all 5 different degrees, 15 all the way up to 75, okay? Then you're going to take a picture on slide 16 and answer questions on slide, take a picture of slide 15, add it to slide 15, then answer questions for 16 and 17, right? So if you have any questions, email me. Again, don't tell me that you don't have the supplies. Use what you have on hand at home. Use paint, use makeup, use whatever you have at home, okay? It needs to be a pretty thick consistency, kind of like corn syrup or pancake syrup, something like that, okay? Try to add color, that way we can actually see when it hits the paper, because if you drop pancake syrup on the cement, you're really not going to see the difference between the cement and the pancake syrup. It's just going to blend in. So use something with color, okay? Again, if you have any questions, email me.